resilient through entrepreneurship, training, hope, innovation, networking, and knowledge. Rethink. That's the theme for Youth Month 2020. Rethink is a call to action for the young people of Jamaica to navigate this pandemic by rethinking, re-engineering, and reimagining their approaches to entrepreneurship, technology, innovation, networking, and knowledge. More details about how you can rethink this Youth Month awaits you right after the news.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 6. A comprehensive intervention package for farmers affected by the recent heavy rains is now being finalized. During a tour of affected farms in Clarendon Wednesday, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green said he would update the House of Representatives on Tuesday regarding the details of the relief package, pointing out that crops such as lettuce, cabbage, tomato, sweet peppers, melons, and cucumbers are among those most affected. He says the relief package is to help farmers get back to planting as early as possible.
We're seeing, especially on the vegetable side, we're seeing almost a complete wipeout, I would say, of upwards of 80% of the normal vegetable crop for this time.
Minister Green and his team visited several communities in the southern parish, including Ebony Park, Bog Hole, Kellets, and Mason River. Nationally, a $15 million emergency fund has already been dispatched to farmers in parishes hit the hardest. Cattle owners have until the end of January 2021 to be registered with the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NATES, or face penalties when transporting their animals. Chief Veterinary Officer in the Veterinary Services Division, Dr. Osbill Watson, gave the warning during a JIS think tank on Wednesday. The NATES incorporates information on animal identity, ownership, geographical location, and movement activity. Ear tags are affixed to the animal, and a movement document, referred to as the cattle passport, is issued to the owner. It contains the same identification number as that on the ear tags. This must accompany the animal when being moved from one location to another. Dr. Watson is appealing to all cattle owners to take advantage of the free registration process that is being offered at this time.
This is something that the government has implemented for the good of the nation, in terms of food safety, in terms of animal health. And the good thing is that it is at no cost to you right now. It's at no cost to the farmer. We want to implement something that will benefit all of us at no cost in the first instance. So let us maximize the use of it to the benefit of the nation.
In other news, Jamaicans are being encouraged to get the flu vaccine to protect themselves against the ill effects of the influenza virus. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton made the call as he announced that there were 23,000 doses available for high-risk groups free of cost.
The priority for this vaccine would be healthcare workers initially, pregnant women, children over 6 months with chronic illnesses, non-health frontline workers such as the police officers, army, correctional services, customs, and immigration officers, and transport operators. Institutionalized persons, those in the infirmaries, nursing homes, and the elderly, 65 years and older, and those with chronic illnesses.
Dr. Tufton made the statements at a recent COVID-19 Conversation press briefing. He said the flu vaccine was being distributed across the country to help ward off the triple threat of dengue, the flu, and COVID-19. The sentiment was echoed by Director of Family Health Services in the ministry, Dr. Melody Ennis.
It's important to receive this vaccine because during this time, it will, one, shorten the duration of any flu-like illness that you may get. The severity will certainly be lessened the hospitalization will be decreased. So those are at least 3 benefits to getting the influenza vaccine. We should also be mindful that we can get the flu and COVID together.
The flu season begins in November of each year and extends to March, but can also run from October to May. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett is hailing the decision by the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, to lift its no-sail order for ships in U.S. ports. The cruise industry has basically been closed since March due to COVID-19 outbreaks on a number of vessels, and Minister Bartlett says this move by the CDC is a step in the right direction. He says it will take some time for full normality to return to the cruise industry, but countries can now fast-track their preparations to meet all the expected protocols that will be required. In addition to lifting its no-sail order, which would have expired on October 31, the CDC also released a list of detailed requirements that could put ships back in operation in the coming months. It includes strict conditions for both the cruise lines and their island partners, such as Jamaica. The tourism minister says the CDC has put the onus on cruise companies to prove that their COVID-19 protocols are working, with specific testing requirements and trial runs before passengers can return. In addition, operators will have to enter into written agreements with landside medical facilities to treat any affected passengers. And finally, the National Works Agency is advising motorists to exercise caution while using the roadways and to be cognizant that service conditions may have deteriorated during rainfall over the last couple weeks. The NWA says it has mobilized the teams to clear roadways in St. Catherine that were affected by the recent rainfall. A section of the Bog Walk Gorge, as well as a section of the Vanity Fair to Guys Hill Roadway, which were affected by landslips and fallen boulders, were cleared. Reports of blockages along the Bartons to Ginger Ridge Roadway were investigated and corrective measures implemented. Meanwhile, in St. Thomas, the water has receded from roads that were affected by flooding yesterday. NWA teams are currently working to clear affected roadways of silt and debris. In Portland, landslips are being cleared at Alligator Church Bridge to Bellevue and at Clear Spring, while a team was mobilized to remove fallen rocks at Blue Hole in the parish. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
The Ministry of Education, with the support of key stakeholders in the private and public sector, will be coordinating a series of activities for Youth Month 2020. All activities, though virtual, are geared towards inspiring young people to be resilient. Here's how.
This month, our theme for Youth Month is Rethink Youth. Rethinking how we interact with our society, rethinking how our society interacts with us, and how we as youth are going to reposition Jamaica to recover as a better country for the next period outside of COVID.
Youth, rethink. Hello Jamaica and Happy Youth Month 2020. My name is Malik Elliott, Chairman of the Youth Advisory Council of Jamaica, and welcome to Youth Month. This Youth Month, we are called upon in this new normal or difficult time to weather the storm by being resilient through our networking, knowledge, and inspiring hope for all Jamaicans. This year, the Youth Advisory Council, as that group of young people working towards putting together policy so that we young people can have a seat at the table, bring to you a youth forum dedicated to discussing entrepreneurship, networking, and educational opportunities through this difficult divide. We stand together resolute, resilient, and ready. Happy Youth Month, Jamaica.
Hi, my name is Shamar Grant from the Jamaica Prefects Association, an organization that promotes leadership and excellence. As an organization, we believe in creating resilient youth. And now more than ever, we should encourage our youth to use their creative skills and their talents to be world changers in a changing world. Happy Youth Month.
Hi, I'm Rihanna Robinson, the National Public Relations Officer of the National Secondary Students Council. The NSSC is really the student-led umbrella organization governing all public secondary students' councils across the island. We are the premier student-led organization here in this country, as we represent over 300,000 students. In light of this current situation that we face now, we believe that youth need to be encouraged to be resilient. Practice and showcase your creative skills, showcase your talents. We believe that this Youth Month, youth need to rethink. That means you really need to sit back and meds what is going on so that you can effectively tackle this situation. You need to come different.
Hello everyone, I am Everton Ratcher, President of the Jamaica Union of Tertiary Students. The Jamaica Union of Tertiary Students is a resilient student organization. The coronavirus has presented a very difficult problem that us as young people and as Jamaicans must solve. And how is it that the Jamaica Union of Tertiary Students is helping to solve that problem? This month in particular, we'll be doing two activities. One, we'll be hosting the Youth in Entrepreneurship Summit, which gives young people the opportunity to look at how we can use entrepreneurship to create a more resilient Jamaica. And two, we'll be hosting the Jamaica Student Leaders Summit. And the Jamaica Student Leaders Summit will create the post-COVID student leader. The student leader who is equipped with the necessary knowledge and skills and tools to function effectively through this pandemic. Us Jamaicans will get through this. Us young people will get through it.
For us to recover from COVID effectively, youth have to be the center of the conversation. Hence why we have to rethink how youth are positioned within our society, not just within the minds of youth ourselves, but also in the minds of those we interact with. But it begins with you. It begins with youth. So I'm asking all youth in Jamaica, participate, engage, develop ideas, continue to be innovative so that we can build a strong country after COVID.
Rethink Youth.
What do you need to know about masks for your children? You want to ensure that the mask fits your child snugly, as in it covers their nose, their mouth, and it fits neatly at the side of their face, no gaps. You want to get your children some washable, breathable mask made of fabric. You want to ensure that they carry an extra mask with them, because once that mask gets dirty or wet, they will need to change the mask. When they get home, you want to ensure that those masks are washed and ready for the next day or the other day to come. Also, remind them that they need to wash their hands when they're putting on the mask and when they're taking off the mask. And as much as possible, they should avoid putting their hands at the center of their mask. If it is that they have to make any adjustment to their mask during the day, it's important that they either wash their hands or use their hand sanitizer. Mask wearing is a new normal. Let's get it right.
As COVID-19 continues to linger among us, more and more young people across Jamaica are proving how resilient they are as the pandemic forces them to rethink how they live. Many have used their skills and talents to join the fight against COVID-19, while others have creatively utilized virtual platforms to construct new ways to cope. In our next two features, we zone in on two groups of young people who demonstrate both the former and latter. Watch this.
I graduated from Hope and Fashion Design Level 2. I'm currently studying Fashion Design in Level 3 at the moment. The course is about to finish March 31st, and it was put off because of the coronavirus. So now I'm here making masks. I'm here day on almost every single day, trying to make a mask. I'll use 100 masks to supply. So each day I'm here working.
When COVID started, And when the outbreak started in Jamaica, we realized that we had no choice but to shut down all training, especially by what we did at Hope. So we had community-based training, we had institutional-based training like you see here at this Heart Academy. When we realized what was happening with COVID and the need for wearing masks by the general public, we decided to recall some of these youngsters who had then been at home for a few weeks, not earning a stipend, not doing anything. So we recalled them and we put systems in place here, very, very strict controls to maintain this sterile environment, the sanitizing processes, and at the same time to have them making these masks.
Making these masks, these Hope program masks, these can basically benefit Jamaica by preventing the spreading of coronavirus. And I live by the philosophy where there is hope, there is life.
The Heart Trust Garmex Academy on Marcus Garvey Drive has become a tenacious player in the island's fight against COVID-19. What started as an initiative to engage numerous unattached young people enrolled in the Housing, Opportunity, Production and Employment Hope program has begun to bring hope to countless Jamaicans. The team of approximately 25 Hope trainees, 10 instructors and numerous volunteers is tasked with the daily target of producing 1,000 reusable fabric masks that will be supplied to some of the less fortunate among us.
The masks are made and supplied. We try to get them to the most vulnerable groups. So we send them to infirmaries, to children's homes. We send them to other social workers groups that are out there working in the communities as we speak. We have provided these masks to the Ministry of Health, social teams that are deployed. But there is also a number of corporate entities who have come to us because they're on the front line. Food service, for instance. As you may be aware, Island Grill was one of our biggest supporters and encouraging us to do more and get more of these masks out, and they were the first ones to come on board.
Colonel Rickman, through his ingenuity, started the manufacture and design of the Hope mask, and we naturally turned to him because of the ongoing partnership that we had. And this is our way of saying thank you. So we have brought our team down to, go ahead and feed the interns and anybody else who might have been participants in producing these things for us.
And I hope it's an example for others to follow suit. I invite other entities to come on board with us, donate some masks. There are entities now who are buying masks and allowing us simply to give it away.
Each mask is sold at a cost of $350 and are done to exact specifications.
We reach out to the Bureau of Standards as well as the Ministry of Health to look at various materials, various makeup and the design of the mask. And I'm happy to say that these masks that are made by Hope, they're made with material that are already water repellent or moisture repellent, but it's made with a level of comfort. It's in 3 layers so that it significantly reduces the possibility. So it's not a guarantee, but it significantly reduces the possibility of moisture and vapor to enter into the system. Or for those who may have the virus, if everybody is wearing it, it will protect them from passing it on as well. All of these masks are made in the Jamaican colors, as you can see. And they're made because we wanted to inspire a sense of, that we as Jamaicans, we're all in this thing together. The masks are made by these young persons who would otherwise have been doing nothing at home. So they're earning a bit of a stipend whilst they're making these masks. They're doing something good for the country. They're in their own way, they're contributing, they're giving their own service back by contributing, making masks, albeit for a small stipend.
Starting a program, changing. Right now, I want to become the best fashion designer there is. if there's such thing. And I'm just here working to the best of my ability to gain more experience and strengthen my skills, and just let it take place from there.
The stipend is the starter for me. So the stipend basically started me. So now I own my own business, and the business name is For Your Glory Design. I know I can fetch for my family and myself.
I'm more confident in sewing than before because I can do a lot more than I could do before, like pattern making, jacket suits. I'm actually making masks in my community also. I'm selling them in my own community. Yeah. So fashion is a good thing for me, and did a lot. It's just me, did a lot for me.
As the COVID-19 virus continues to plague us, more and more schools across Jamaica are resorting to the use of technology to meet the needs of their students. In many cases, learning has been shifted to the virtual space, and educational apps and technologies are the new must-haves. The Herbert Morrison Technical High School in St. James is well aware of this new normal and will not be left behind. Meet Jason and Sunil, two students of the school's engineering club who recently created a new COVID-19 web app and interactive school website to increase access to accurate, current and valuable information during this fight against COVID-19.
Hello. I'm Jason Clark, the creator of both COVID-JA and my school's website at Herbert Morrison Technical High.
I'm Sunil England, creator of the React API integration for the COVID-JA web app.
The old website was outdated. Now the design might have been popular around 2006-2009, but by today's standards in 2019-2020, it is completely outdated. Information on that website was also irrelevant and not up to date. So on the new website, we have a modern design. It has information on the school, what we do, the news, various news and upcoming events for the school. It has our contact information, or number or email, and an interactive map that we can find the school. We also have all the clubs in an interactive card system where you see the club that you want to join. You hover over it and it flips around and gives all the information related to the club. Now some clubs even have websites of their own, such as for the engineering club.
The updated website also houses important downloadable documents, such as the syllabus for various grades and application forms for the school's sixth form program. New students will soon be able to use the website to participate in a tour of the school without ever having to leave the comfort of their homes.
Now on the website, we are also integrating our virtual tour. Now a few students some time back created a virtual tour of the entire school. Now what we are working on now is placing it in the website. Now due to the coronavirus restrictions, we can't have large gatherings. So what that virtual tour will allow it is for new students to be able to interact with the compound, to go where they want, to explore, to discover. They'll also be able to meet the teachers, the principals. I also created a web app that tracks COVID-19. Now on this web app you have valuable information on COVID-19, what it is, how it spread. You have information and what to do if you think you have the symptoms. You have information that caters to persons that may be vulnerable to COVID-19 and likes to find out a little more information on it. Now it also has a dedicated part that tracks the coronavirus worldwide. It's integrated with a React API, which my friend Sunil created, which allows all the data from all over the world to be tracked and placed in the website. So if you are curious on the amount of cases, the recovered, the deaths, In Jamaica, you can find it on the website. Whether it be Jamaica, America, Spain, England, all these countries are integrated into the web app.
So initially, Jason created a website that was based around HTML and CSS. Now HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which means that the information will only be displayed static, and CSS means cascading style sheets. So that is responsible for the aesthetics of the website. My React API integration came into play when I saw Jason's HTML based site, and I said to him that, okay, seeing that the information would have to be manually updated, I would start to use the React API to draw data from each country in the world and put them into one section of the website that can be manipulated dynamically through the API, not by the user. So in real time, the information gets updated as a new case comes on a live server.
According to Sunil, not only is the web app interactive and current, it is also adaptive because the data on the app can be accessed on laptops, desktops, and cell phones. In other words, the data being displayed conforms to the shape of any device being used.
Now, I decided to create this app because my parents like to watch the news. And on the news, there's always reports of new cases in different countries. However, there are few times that Jamaica comes up. So I wanted to create a medium through a website, a web app, where you could find real-time information on the coronavirus anytime you'd like, wherever you are.
To access Jason's free COVID-JA web app, persons should visit covidja.ml. His school's new website can be found at herbertmorrisontechnicalhigh.tk.
Within the engineering club, there are different skills and experts. And what you just see happening between both of them there is just two different skills integrating together to form a complete product. I feel like there is hope for Jamaica. I feel like Herbert Morrison Technical High School is on the right path in terms of adopting technology or providing at least the environment for students who want more than what is required in the learning curriculum, or those students who want to be a part or a fight of the COVID-19.
Whenever you hear the following tone, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, will be giving information on an emergency situation affecting the island. Please be on the alert and listen to your radio and television for further information. This was a test of the emergency alert system, brought to you by ODPEM.
And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks so much for journeying with us. As we go, we implore you to stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via our social media pages. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Audrey Williams, reminding you to be resilient and strong this Youth Month. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.